to the Injured Gadgets YouTube channel. Today we'll be doing an S9 Plus device teardown. Now we will start by placing the device on our CPB heating pad to loosen the back adhesive for anywhere from 4 to 6 minutes. At 60 degrees, it was not quite hot enough, so I turned it up to 75 degrees Celsius. Now that it's hot enough, I use our iFlex device opening tool to separate the glass back adhesive. Now you will want to be careful doing this. I nicked my thumb quite bad, so please use protective gear when doing this. Also, you will want to be careful towards the top of the device so as not to cut the Touch ID flex cable. Once the back is removed, we can move on to removing the 15 screws that hold the backing on. Now we will use a nylon spudger to remove the backing pieces, including the NFC coil and loudspeaker. First step is to disconnect the battery and remove the SIM tray. Next, we'll go on to remove the camera and iris scanner. Simply disconnect the flex with a nylon spudger and they pull right out. Now I will remove the proximity sensor and flash. And before removing the LCD flex cable, I will remove the loudspeaker. Now we can safely disconnect the LCD flex and antenna flex. Now do be careful when removing these wire cables, as it is fairly easy to break off the male end receiver that's actually on the board, so please use caution. Now we will remove the anchor screw holding the mainboard in. Now these can sometimes be screwed in quite tight, as it is here. Now finally we can remove the mainboard. So we'll just use our nylon spudger to lift up from the top and then to disconnect the daughterboard flex. For the rear camera, we can start by disconnecting the flex. And then we'll grab our blunt nose tweezers and essentially wedge the camera apart from the board very gently, just wiggling and prying. Now to remove the dot connector screws before removing the dot connector itself. I found that the best way to remove the dot connector is to just pull gently, and the adhesive comes free quite easily until you get down to the corner that has the headphone jack in it. Then you might need to use a nylon spudger to pull up the last remaining piece of board from underneath. As for removing the vibrator, again, using our blunt nose tweezers, you can just wiggle and wedge your way underneath the vibrator and then twist to get it to separate from the frame. Next, for the ear speaker. Now, the adhesive holding this down is pretty strong, so I will go in from the back right side and just kind of wedge and wiggle gently until it comes up. Now, for the proximity sensor and flash, it's fairly simple. Just put tweezers or a spudger underneath the little metal plate and wiggle until it pops free. Now, with all parts removed, that completes our disassembly of the S9 Plus.